was in the Marine Corps.
Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hopefully elect brothers taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah with another report, looking at the wickedness of Esau, the so-called white man, and the ignorance and the state of spiritual deadness of our own people who do not know who they are, because they are stuck in the lie that they were fed during slavery, that they're black or African American, when in fact we are the Hebrew Israelites, the Native Americans, the Latinos, and so-called black people who came here in slavery on those ships. Jamaicans, Haitians are the 12 tribes. Fuck what everybody else wants to say. And so one of the accusations of the devil, who is the so-called white man, the physical counterpart of Satan, the prince demon, is to cover up his own wickedness. He's going to accuse the reason why he wants so-called black men out of the military, which we should not be in the military in the first place. Why do Negroes, why do Mexicans, why do you guys want to fight in the military of the so-called white man who is your oppressor? Why do you want to take directions and orders from a so-called white man to go fight other races of people for his kingdom? Because he's not going to give you anything. He'll give you some crumbs, but he's going to keep all the spoils of war, and you're going to go fight against another nation who hasn't done shit to you like the so-called white man, but you're not going to fight the white man. Listen to this crap about shaving beards, bro. Listen to this shit.
I know I've said that a few times. You're probably aware of it. If not, if you're new here, I served in the Marine Corps for a few years. I was an enlisted guy, not an officer. So I was in boot camp with a lot of black Marines who had trouble with razor bumps or shave bumps. I don't know what they called them. When you have curly hair and you shave, sometimes the hair goes up inside and you have an ingrown hair there. And some people are afflicted because of genetics to have it even worse. And
see how he said that? Now something's wrong with our genetics because we can't shave our beards like Edomites can. Listen to this. This is that what is it? The pseudoscience, pseudoscience so-called. This is that shit. We are not supposed to shave our beard, you guys. It's a commandment in the scriptures. Leviticus 19:27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beards. We're not supposed to cut our beards. We can trim them, but we're not supposed to shave them. That's a commandment from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai to the 12 tribes of Yasharallah, man. Do you see how far away we are from our own heritage, that we have another race? And it's always the same pink motherfucker, bro, telling us how we are supposed to be human beings, telling us how we're supposed to operate in our culture, which is based on what they gave us after we discontinued from our heritage. And this goes back into the curses. This is ultimately the punishment of our father and Yahweh Shai because we committed adultery. But this, you need to understand, look how it's manifested. And again, what is an Esau? This Edomite thinks he's doing this good thing. Oh, I'm going to report him. Even when they talk about the wickedness of their own people, you guys, they come up wanting, meaning lacking. They're found lacking in the balance because they don't know justice. They don't know the scriptures. They don't understand, bro. They're profane. We're not black. We're not supposed to be shaving. We're not even supposed to be in their fucking military, man. This is the same race, the same base man that had our ancestors in slavery. And this is the same base man that's showing his ass now. Oh my God, bro. Let me let it play. Salakia.
And so in boot camp, this isn't for black men who are watching this, because this is for white people who don't know, or if you weren't in boot camp. But there's like a cream that they put on. It's like Nair that kind of burns the hair off, so you don't have to shave it, and so you have less of a problem with it. Well, right now, the Republican Party, the most organized and effective white supremacy organization on the planet, the Republican Party, Donald Trump, the whole DEI nonsense, they're so against diversity in our world that they are going to be kicking out Marines, black Marines, who suffer from this genetic condition and have a hard time shaving.
It's not a fucking genetic condition. It is a commandment given to us that we're not supposed to shave. That's the reaction to not doing what the Most High said is not the issue. What the issue is, we were commanded to never shave our beards. We were never supposed to fashion our bodies, our lives, our circumcisions. You can read about that in Maccabees, the reverse circumcision. We were never supposed to conform our images to the likeness of the so-called Edomites, the so-called white men. He's not supposed to be dictating to us how we're supposed to dress, what we're supposed to eat, how we're supposed to speak. All these fucking conducts, which if you really go into it, it's a form of law. We had our conducts given to us in the scriptures, in the law, statutes and commandments. And this is the punishment. Oh, man, this is the punishment, man. This is how we don't know who we are so much that we are now being accused by the same pink race of people, red, the Edomites. Oh, there's something wrong with you because you can't shave your beard. Nigga, we're not supposed to shave our beards. There's something wrong with you. You're the one that does everything contrary to what the Most High has said to do. And the Most High told his sons, you don't shave your beards. Why do we grow hair on our face if you're just going to shave it off? Oh, we won't go there. We won't talk about that. Esau does everything contrary to the Most High.
I've been talking about, look, they're deleting tens of thousands of images in databases celebrating the diversity in the military. Just pictures of black folks doing their jobs, of women doing their jobs, of gay and lesbian and transgender soldiers just doing their jobs.
See that? And then that's the other thing. See how he classified us with sodomites and transgenders. Another thing Esau did. This entire system, the entire vibration, the entire vocabulary system, everything, it's all gross darkness, you guys. It's all gross darkness, man. This dude, oh, he means well, right? He's going to speak for us. And as he's speaking up for us, he's casually categorizing us in the same fucking class as sodomites and transgenders. This is the righteousness. This is the social, this is the political correctness of the Edomites, man. That if you're going to talk about what so-called black people have gone through, you also have to include sodomites and transgenders. Man, get the fuck out of here with that, bro. That is fucking wicked, dude. That is absolutely, and this entire nation does it. When people are, they're on their soapbox, we're gonna speak against what the upper class white males are doing. Black people this, they've been treating black people and gay people and transgender. What? Hold on, dude. Hold on. I haven't seen a transgender to this date be lynched. I haven't seen gay people being used as gator bait. I haven't seen none of this shit that they did to us. The Most High didn't put them in punishment the way he put us. He's going to punish the transgenders. He's going to punish the sodomites. But what happened between Jacob and Esau is all in biblical prophecy. There's no mention of the transgenders. There's no mention of the sodomites in that. That's a completely different category of judgment. That they're not, the sodomites and transgenders are not oppressed because of or what Jacob went through, what the Hebrew Israelites went through. If sodomites and transgenders are experiencing some form of a harvest from what they've sown, it's because of the decisions they've made. A man's not supposed to have sex with another man in his backside. It's not made for that. The anus, it tears, it rips. That skin is different. It's not made for consistent penetration. The vagina is, not the rectum. You're not supposed to cut off certain body parts. You're not supposed to cut off certain body parts at all, let alone your genitalia at certain ages. You're not supposed to introduce contrary hormones to change your hormonal balance to start to look and sound like the opposite sex. You're not supposed to do that shit. That's not what so-called white people and so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Americans experienced or went through when slavery and oppression was going on and still is happening. It's a completely different fucking category. And see, the fact that I have to attempt to communicate this is proof of the darkness, the lack of light of this race of people, because they're the ones that are in rulership. And they're the ones dictating to the rest of the world, this is how you talk about these topics. It's fucking darkness, man. There's absolutely no light in it, bro. I apologize for my anger, but fuck this, man. It's not about the military. This video is not about so-called black people not being allowed to be in the military. Look what I said. And I left a fucking comment, man. I don't know if I spelled the words right. This is the first one I left. Our people were never, ever supposed to be involved with the military of the exact same race that brought us here in slavery to begin with. Nothing about America is home to us, and nothing about white people are friends to us. This entire system is hostile toward us 24/7. And the insane part is our people have fallen in love with their oppressors and this wicked country. Why would any so-called black man want to take orders from a so-called white man to go fight in his military against other men of color, so that the white man can keep all of the spoils of war, and the black man, if he lives, comes back to a country that has always criminally treated his people? None of this makes sense. And then I posted some scriptures about us not cutting our beards. Dude, this is fucking crazy. And so people, and again, because our people are so indoctrinated at this point in life, all these things that Trump is doing, first, it's showing you who these people have always been. And the fact that nobody is getting it is mind-blowing. And then the reverse psychology, just like they did during the civil rights era, where they made us fight. We were fighting to be able to. Why would you fight the white man so you could live in a house next to him? You were just in slavery to this race of people. A couple years ago, they were raping our wives. They were molesting our children. They were sodomizing us. They were making us work for free. They beat our names off of us. They beat our language out of us. And now you want to fucking be his neighbor. You want to worship a God that looks like him. You hate yourself. You think you're ugly, and you can't even speak his language correctly because he made it illegal for you to learn how to read. But you want to fucking live next to this guy. The Chinese man didn't do that to you. The Middle East didn't do that to you. Esau did that to you, but you want to fucking live next to him, and then you want to get into his military so he can pay you some food stamps and you can go shoot someone else that hasn't done none of this shit that he's done to you. Explain that shit. Explain that. Does the white man do that? Does the white man fight for people that have harmed him and not fight the people that have harmed him? But you're doing that shit. Why are you guys doing that shit? This shit don't make no sense. And everyone's going to see them, oh, Donald Trump, you don't want our people to be in the military. And you're going to fucking cry about being a part of Esau's sword. Let Esau fight his own fucking battles by his fucking self. You don't need to fucking help him kill more people, man.
They're deleting any trace of it because they want to erase the contributions of individuals who aren't straight white men. It's the way it is. Because you know what I can tell you? You know what they're not deleting? Pictures of straight white men, right? I didn't think that in the Trump administration I would be reading from military.com, which is the newspaper that deals with military issues. A lot of these people are veterans, but this is a newspaper that covers military issues, military news. Here we are, though. Here's the headline. Marines with skin condition affecting mostly black men could now be booted under new policy, meaning kicked out of the military. A new Marine Corps policy says troops with a genetic skin condition that can cause pain and scarring from shaving and mainly affects black men,
You see how they're doing this? Esau is a fucking clean leper, meaning he has no melanin in his skin. His skin and the lack of melanin, the fact that he's red and pink, is an identifier of who he is on the entire planet. That's the mark of Cain. Do you see how they're spinning this? So they're saying the skin condition of Judite males when they shave is an inferiority. They're accusing Israel. They're accusing the sons of God. We are commanded by Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai not to shave our beards, you guys. Look, man, I'm going to pull that precept. What is it? Those who go down to Egypt and ask for let me see, those who walk down to Egypt for a covering and ask them to Egypt, who walk down to Egypt. Let me see if that pulls it up. Yeah. So let's come on. And we know that America is a type of Egypt. All the obelisks, all the pyramids on government buildings. It's also, in Egypt doesn't just mean the nation Egypt, it also is synonymous. It's synonymous with the house of bondage. And America is a house of bondage. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. It's everybody in the military. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? You're getting assistance from them. And stay on horses. You put your trust in their military and trust in chariots. It's talking about the military and the sword of Esau, you guys, because they are many. And no one has a bigger military than the so-called white man here in America, all over the earth. He's got his embassies in everybody's fucking backyard. This is a future prophecy talking about today. And in horsemen, because they are strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rakakwadash. Neither seek Yahweh, or in this case, Yahweh Shai. Let's get another one. Keep on reading. Look at this. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words. Hold on. Yes, that's what I was looking for. So this is talking about Salakia. So this is talking about what we are seeing today. How many of our people are in the military? How many are people? My cousin Rachel, her husband, Jimmy, he's a Judite. He's in the military. Super successful. You know what I'm saying? I was born and raised in Yuma, Arizona. There's a military base there. I wanted to be in the Air Force. I had fantasies of it when I was a kid. Used to see the jets flying all over the head. I was seeing F-14s all the time in the sky when I was living in Yuma, Arizona, because of the base. Big old helicopters chopping through the sky. You want to do that when you're a kid. I went another route in criminal. I was in prison by the time I was 18. Never went back once I got out, but that prevented me from joining the military. Or I used to always say, I would have joined the military if I wouldn't have gotten a felony. I would have went just because of the conditioning of me growing up around the base, going on base. My mom was married to a guy that was in the military, Steve, my sister Stephanie's dad, an Edomite. I have two Edomite sisters. I was raised like this, like fucking just, the Top Gun movies and shit. You're conditioned to think it's cool, not having any idea what the Bible actually says about Esau and his fucking military and what he does to the earth. Anyways, all that said, this is what's lacking in our people. We
can be separated.
We don't understand who Esau is. We don't know who we are. So when this is a very painful and psychological traumatizing and socially accusing accusation, very skillfully developed or fashioned as a weapon from Esau Edom. You got to understand, the higher up you go in his rankings, the more knowledge they have. They know that we are the Hebrew Israelites, and they know that we're not supposed to shave our beards. This is why they have us shaving our beards, you guys. They know we're not supposed to do not mar. Here. They know this. You don't think they're not familiar with the law? And they know that this is our law. This order was given to us. So they know this. They know that Leviticus was given to us. Yet here they are saying there's something wrong with you when you disobey the word of God. But they're not saying it like that. And they're speaking this attack, they're speaking this accusation in 2025 when the majority of so-called white people don't even know that they're the biblical Edomites, and the majority of so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and blacks don't know that they're the Hebrew Israelites. And so from all that darkness, these fuckers are able to do something like this. Well, we're kicking you out because there's something wrong with you. Two things. Our people are not supposed to be a part of the military, and we're not supposed to be shaving our beards. But because we don't know who we are, people are going to hear this. They're going to get offended the wrong way. They're going to develop more psychological wounds, of more psychological rejection, which it's not true. We're not supposed to fucking shave our beards, man. And we're not supposed to be in the military for the fucking white man. What is a black man doing in the military of the white man? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you go and get trained to then go to another fucking country and kill men that the white man says are bad? But you're not going to kill a white man. You won't lift a fucking finger to do anything against anybody in the fucking white race. But wait a minute. See how that sounds? Wait, hold on. Doesn't the military kill people? Exactly. Who's got the biggest military on the planet? Exactly. The minute you start talking about killing so-called white folks, oh my God, now you've done something wrong. But it's okay for you to kill other people. Dude, the Vietnam War. What the fuck were our people doing in Vietnam killing Vietnamese men? What has a Vietnamese man ever done to us? Nothing. But you were over there killing them. Why? Because you went into the white man's army during a time he was still treating you like shit, and he's still treating you like shit today. And you went and killed a whole bunch of people who didn't do nothing to you, just to come back and not even get no fucking help in the VA hospital. Fuck these people. But because our people don't look at the situation like that, they're going to get butthurt and protest. Why won't you let us be in your military? Dude, the shit's fucked up, man.
Rated if the health issue persists. The, quote, interim guidance.
So now disobedience to the Most High is a health issue rather than reaping and sowing the consequences of disobeying the Most High. You see how Esau talks, man? God, dude.
Issued Thursday gives military healthcare providers 90 days to reevaluate Marines diagnosed with pseudofolliculitis. Barbe, I think is how you say it.
See, and that's a pseudoscience. That is a Latin. That is a combination of Latin words from the Edomites categorizing an effect of our bodies when we don't do what the Most High told us to do. Same thing when we eat pork and shrimp. When we start developing allergic reactions, and they know this shit, you guys. Don't fucking think they have not studied the whole OBGYN system, the female gynecology. That was developed during slavery with a fucking Edomite man chopping up on our women without fucking anesthesia. He learned about the entire human anatomy by using Judite female subjects. Fuck these people, bro. And now they're going to give up a long pseudo-barbacubalist, some goofy-ass fucking Peckerwood, Edomite, Latin fucking term for they're just being disobedient to the Most High. He told them not to shave. When we make them shave, look what happens to their skin. Ooh, now you're going to accuse us of being some kind of fucked up genetically? Get the fuck out of here, bro. We're the superior race, bro. We are the head of all people. What's that precept? Above all nations. Paraphrasing. Look, Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people. What does holy mean in this context? Separated. Separated from who? These fucking Edomites. We got no business dealing with them. Look what they do when they're around us, bro. They're going to make you shave. That's going to make you disobey God. Then you're going to develop razor bumps. And then they're going to call it some Latin, some Edomite, ancient Edomite language that makes it sound like it's science. There's something wrong with you. Yeah, it's called disobedience. Sin is our kryptonite, you guys. We are the Superman. You put sin around us, we start getting weak. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. You're not going to shave your beards, man, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And you don't shave your beards. He can shave his beard. I didn't choose him. He can shave his beard. I didn't make him the way I made you. You keep your beard on. There's nothing wrong with you.
Say that. Pseudo-folliculitis barbae.
So the word pseudo, doesn't that mean new? See, pseudo-folliculitis barbae, where we get the word barber. So see, all these words, bro, are an attack against our nature, against our heritage, against the order that the Most High has called us to walk in. Yet here comes along the pink man who can't stand outside the sun for more than 5 minutes without getting burnt. And he's going to accuse you, Mr. Judite male. Oh, there's something in, you're inferior. Why? Because you can't shave your beard. I'm not supposed to shave my beard. What the fuck, man? Now he wants to make fun of you guys on national TV because you're not supposed to be shaving your beard, but he's not going to communicate it that way.
Or PFB. PFB, that's way easier. Or PFB. If they don't recover based on a 4-phase treatment program outlined in the message, have to remain on a shaving waiver for more than a year, and a commander deems it fit, the Corps can administratively separate them due to incompatibility with service, according to the message.
Now, let's get what's the precept? If you're lame, if you're lame, you cannot enter into the temple. And it's going to list a whole bunch of defects that the Most High said amongst the Israelites that if you have these, you can't serve in the temple if you're lame. So this is Esau trying to be like the Most High. If you're lame, you cannot enter or serve in the temple. You cannot. I'm just paraphrasing. Let's see if no, fuck. I'm looking for the law. It's in the law. Let me see. A man hurt in his stones. Let me see. Hurt in his stones. I apologize for not having the experience on this particular, but I know. Let me see if this pulls it up. All right, cool. Whew. So look at this. Okay, he that is wounded in stones. These are imperfections or called blemishes, right? This is why in Passover you have the firstborn male without blemish. That's a type and shadow of Yahushua, because he is without blemish. Blemishes are not allowed in the presence of the Most High, you guys. It's plus he wants the cream of the crop to minister to him. He doesn't want a mistake to take place in his presence. It's sin. So look at this. He that is wounded in the stones, or hath his privy member cut off, shall not enter. There goes your transgenderism too. Good Lord, man. Shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh. Remember, and this is given to the Hebrew Israelites and the Hebrew Israelites only. There's 17 other nations on the planet at this time, and these are not being given to them. He's not even talking to the other nations. He's only speaking to the nation of Israel. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of Yahweh. An Ammonite and a Moabite. Now he's telling certain nations can't come in. The Moabites are Chinese. An Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh. Even into their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of Yahweh forever. See how, look at this, you guys, because they met you not with bread and with water in the way when ye came forth out of Egypt. And because, so the Most High remembered that. They hired against thee Balaam, the son of Beor, of Pethor, of Mesopotamia, to curse thee. So the Most High remembers that. Nevertheless, Yahweh thy power would not hearken unto Balaam, but Yahweh thy power turned the curse into a blessing unto thee, because Yahweh thy power loves thee. Thou shalt not seek their peace, nor their prosperity all the days of ever. Thou shalt not abhor, and it's right here. Look at this. People, Esau, the word abhor, it means something else. It doesn't mean that. And I don't even want to break into that, because people go, oh, what about Edomites? You see him kicking out Moab, but you're telling me that the Most High is going to be double-minded and come against and say you can have mercy on Esau, Edom, and Esau's worse than Moab. Get the fuck out of here. That's not what that means. It's a typo, and they put it in there on purpose. So you see this. Certain physical deficiencies weren't allowed in the temple. What do you see the so-called white man here doing? If you have a problem with shaving, we're going to discontinue you from the service because that's a form of weakness. That's his attempt. So you gotta, and now look, what does it say in Isaiah 14? What did Salakia from my throat? What did Yahweh prophesy? That Isaiah 14 that Lucifer would say, and Lucifer just means angel of light. It's not talking about the prince demon Satan. It's talking about the elect of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. They are Lucifer right now because they are the light bringers on the left-hand side. And what was one of his things? He would be like the Most High. Let's go down, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven? And heaven is talking about rulership on the earth, not from the actual throne room of the Most High Yahweh. Remember, there are 3 definitions of heaven in Scripture, and these are the 3. The first heaven is rulership on the earth, which is what one nation possesses at a time. The second heaven is the sky and the atmosphere, the stratosphere, all that shit in outer space. And the third heaven is the literal throne room of Yahweh, the Most High, where Yahweh Shai sits at his right hand and Satan sits at his left hand. Those are the Elohim on the right and left hand side. Western Renaissance Christianity doesn't teach it like this, and so people think that this is talking about Satan himself. It's not. It's talking about the white man. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nation? For thou hast said in thine heart, in thy mind. And this is not Yahweh looking at the white man in the future, reading his mind. That's not how prophecy works. This is what the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai wrote. He wrote this script in the movie, and Esau's going to live it and play it out. So this, you could better say it, for I have written in the movie for the role you're going to play, and in your mind, you're going to say, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt the throne from the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, talking about America. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. This is the inner workings of the mindset and the DNA of the so-called Edomites, especially the elite. The higher up you go, the more proud they get. But that's what this is talking about. And you can see the way they fashion this accusation, that they are accusing the Judites of having a blemish and that they cannot enter into the temple of the Edomites, which is what? Their sword. That's where they worship at, you guys. They worship with their sword. They worship their sword. That's their God, dude.
The directive marks a reversal from a previous Marine Corps policy issued in 2022 that prohibited the service from administratively separating Marines solely based on the condition, which is caused when curled hairs grow back into the skin, resulting in inflammation. It also comes at the same time Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has ordered a military-wide review of standards specifically focused on issues such as shaving, waivers, and body fat. Quote, In cases where a medical condition prevents a Marine from meeting required standards for an extended period exceeding 1 year, administrative separation may be considered if it affects long-term service compatibility. Major Jacoby Getty, a spokesperson for the Corps Manpower and Reserve Affairs, said in an emailed statement Friday when asked why Marines are no longer exempt from separation due to PFB. Quote, he says, however, every effort will be made to support Marines through treatment and recovery before such decisions are considered. Getty emphasized that the new guidance is meant to imbue consistency across medical exemptions and that the service remains fully committed to supporting Marines with PFB.
Nothing will ever change with our bodies at this level, because we are never, ever going to not supposed to shave our beards. When Yahushua comes back to establish his kingdom on the earth, every Israelite man will be rocking a beard. There will be no exceptions. So that supposed gene situation with the genes is never going to change. And Esau can't change that. We are supposed to wear our beards. We're not supposed to conform to the fashions of this world. The fashion of this world is passing away. Esau is, you guys need to see this for what it is. It's not about the fucking military, man. We're not supposed to be in the fucking military. Fuck the military. Esau can take his military and stick it up his fucking ass. We're not supposed to be being accused to shave our beards. And these motherfuckers, look at what, let me see. Let's go. This also goes back. Let's find it in Maccabees. Didn't they accuse us of circumcision too? They killed our women. Okay, hold on. No, I'm fucking, hold on. Oh gosh. First Maccabees. Let me see. First Maccabees. Oh, no, I don't, but I need to know the First Maccabees. Women, how do you spell circumcision? Circumcise. I know I'm spelling it right. Let me see. Circumcision. Let me see. Circumcised their children. Let me see. And that should pull it up. Okay. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And see, they removed the Apocrypha out of the Bible, the original 1611 King James Version Bible. And these are the Greeks. These are the same white people, Edomites, you guys. A lot of what you see in First and Second Maccabees, and you can see what's starting to happen now with Trump. They are aware of all these records. In fact, I think Trump's first inauguration, he put his hand on the Apocrypha, and nobody recognized it because no one thinks that this is the Bible, because the same race of people told the world it's not the Bible. You guys got to see this devil in action, man, but you can't do it without this knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So let me go back one. At which time, according to the commandment, they put it, okay. So I'm going to come out and go back in, go all the way down. I want to get some of this. Let me lock you. Give me a couple seconds. Okay, look at this. So this is the Greeks doing this to the Hebrew Israelites. Look at this, bro. Now the 15th day of the month, Caslu, in the 140 and 50 year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side. So this is all done intentionally, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, this is the Grecians, this is the so-called white men, the Edomites. This is the Grecian rulership. They're ripping up the Bible, you guys, which is what? It's our history, it's our heritage, as well. It's our instruction, because it's the laws, statutes, and commandments. It's everything we are as a race of people. All right. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire, And whosoever was found with any book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death. What was the law written during slavery? We weren't allowed to read. What was the other law written in slavery? That if we were found reading the Bible, we would be killed. It's the same race of people, you guys. Same shit. Nothing changes. Nothing is new under the sun. Verse 58. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. And they're about to start doing it again. Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the power. So they're doing perversions. The Greeks were, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women. Why? That had caused their children to be circumcised. So that's another one of our laws. One of our laws is we're not supposed to shave our beards once we come into adolescence. Another law is we're supposed to circumcise the foreskin flesh of the male genitalia on every boy. No other race of people on the planet Earth were doing this, you guys. That's why when if you see old Greek statues, I think they're when they show them naked, they're not circumcised. It's not because it was old. They didn't have the law. And they hang the infants. Look at this shit, bro. They hang the dead babies about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. Okay? So this is Esau attacking our heritage, attacking our culture, attacking our obedience to the law. And now further, he has perfected his sword, where now he's accusing us, making it sound like it's a defect to acknowledge our law. But we don't know our law because we're so fucking Babylonianized. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. There goes your pork. There goes your fucking lobsters and your shrimp and your fucking oysters and your goddamn, all the other weird shit that we eat. Wherefore, the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died, and there was very great wrath upon Israel. And now our people don't even know who they are. At least here in Maccabees, we knew who we were. Now here in America, we think we're fucking African American. So when you think you're African American, these types of accusations are painful. And you have the wrong response because you fight harder to keep your so-called rights. You fight harder in that false identity, and you never win because you're operating in darkness, because you're not supposed to fucking shave your beard in the first place, and you're not supposed to be in the military either, because you're not supposed to have, you can get a job and work for the Edomites because they have everything, but you ain't supposed to get in their fucking military, bro. You got to go somewhere else, man.
It's not being applied consistently when this is an affliction that I think they say like 60% of black guys have. Oh, it says black service members make up about 15 to 16% of the active duty force. They said, but 66% of shaving waivers holders are black. This is to target black Marines. This is to target black Americans. This is to target people.
How many times did he say black? We're not fucking black. We're Hebrew. See, but he can't say Hebrew Israelites because then it opens up the law. And when it opens up the law, it opens up all the books and the prophecies. And then it also opens up Edomites. It also opens up Esau's identity. And Esau cannot function as Esau on the earth, but he can function as a white man on the earth. That's the darkness. There's no light in that. There's nothing white. Look at this motherfucker's shirt and look at his face. Look at his hands.
Who want to serve their nation. It's not white.
Look how pink his fucking hands are. Look how pink his face is compared to his fucking cuffs and his fucking t-shirt.
People that are largely going to be impacted by this, or even minorly impacted by this. It's black.
He's as red as that goddamn handkerchief in his pocket, or orange. Look at his fucking face. He's not even as white as his own fucking beard and gray hair are. These people are not white, dude. They're red.
Folks. That's why they're deleting the contributions of black heroes who got the Medal of Honor after being wounded. High-ranking individuals that they replaced the link on the website with DEI medals. just because he was black and got a Medal of Honor. It was a DEI medal, even though he was wounded in combat multiple times.
And see, none of that shit matters. That's all fucking vain. None of the awards, none of the accolades that we achieve as so-called black people in America are anything, because it was done under the false name of white and black. You were the first black man to do this. What does that mean? You're second to a white man. They're not our fucking standard of living, you guys. We were not born on the planet Earth to achieve nextness to fucking the so-called white man. I'm nothing until I can stand next to a white man and do what he does. You guys are fucking tripping, bro. That shit's weird. That's what that is. Every time you say it, every time you hear it, every time they do it in fucking February, oh, this was the first black woman. What does the Bible say? It says Jacob is the former of all things. What does the word former mean? It means first. We're the first of everything. We're not the fucking first behind the white man. We were the first before him. I'm going to end it with this, okay? So Jacob is the former of all things. God, man, I saw that video. I was like, hell fucking no. So this is Jeremiah 10:16. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former. He is the first of all things. And Yasharallah is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name. Man, oh my God, bro. I'm going to stop it here, man. You guys are more than willing. I don't even want to watch the rest. It's just fucking stupid, man. We're not here to shave our beards, and we're not here to join the military, and we're not here to constantly receive these scathing accusations of the fucking Edomites in darkness. Because as long as you think you're African American, as long as you think you're fucking black, as long as you trust in fucking white Jesus, man, you're fucked. You have no understanding, because the understanding comes through the biblical Hebrew Israelites, according to prophecy, being woken up and being restored and calling back upon the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Wah Yahweh Shai, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, his son. Not fucking Jehovah and not fucking Jesus, man. And not trusting anything that the so-called white man says. Everything that comes out their mouth, it's just darkness. They are profane, man. They cannot speak the truth, you guys. And even when they're attempting to help, all they can do is regurgitate the politically correct bullshit, which is not the scriptures. You have to speak with the oracles of God. What did Peter say? You have to speak and you have to repeat what Yahweh said in understanding. Peter says, speak with the oracles. Speak with the oracles. Let me see. Oracles of God. Watch. This is the precepts. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. What's an oracle? Let's look. Let's get the Edemon. These are the precepts. Oracle. Look, a message from God expressed by divine inspiration through a priest or a priestess. No, take those last two out. From a prophet, from an elect man of Israel. Hebrew Israelite. It's the only race of people that can do this. I'm going to pull the precept to back that one up too. In answer to a human inquiry, usually respecting some future event. And the only prophecies that were ever given to Hebrew Israelites. The two that were shared with the non-Hebrew Israelite, which would be the Pharaoh when Joseph was in his court, and Nebuchadnezzar when Daniel was in his court. Pharaoh was given a short-term prophetic dream that only Joseph could interpret. When Joseph interpreted it, Pharaoh realized he's the only one wise enough. I'm going to put you right next to my right hand. Same thing happened with King Nebuchadnezzar. Yahweh gave him a extremely powerful, long distance, multiple rulership involving a dream that comes all the way to the end times, and only Daniel could interpret it. In fact, King Nebuchadnezzar, the Most High did it where King Nebuchadnezzar forgot it, but he knew he dreamt something and he wanted people to tell him his dream. And the Chaldeans in his court, these are real deal left-handed witches. They operate in real power. They couldn't do it. And Daniel prayed, and Yahweh downloaded the information that he gave the king Nebuchadnezzar. And when the prophet Daniel repeated it to him, the King Nebuchadnezzar he bowed down. He was like, holy shit, that's it. And he put him next to him and then allowed the prophet Daniel to exalt or hire 3 of his friends that were also Hebrew Israelite prophets, showing you that the only race of people the Most High shares his secrets to are the Hebrew Israelites, not random priests or priests. That's all bullshit right there. That's Esau shit. So that's what the oracles are. So you have to speak about Edomites. You have to speak about what the so-called white man is doing based on the oracles of the Most High, or you can't talk. You can't break him down. Everything this dude is doing is all darkness. And everything that Trump is doing is all darkness. And the reactions of our own people are going to be darkness unless they understand this truth. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hopefully like brothers taking this truth to the 4 corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yahshua Allah to the marriage supper of the Lamb. This is who is Yahweh Shai, Salakia. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.